How are we doing, guys? Moose here, episode 26 of our West Ham United career mode, and we are inching closer and closer to the end. We're actually going to have 5 games left in this season, including obviously the FA Cup final, which will be in the next episode. That will be the FA Cup final taking place at Wembley against QPR. You can take a look, go back and pause here. You see we have actually hit May 1st, meaning we did get the May 1st Youth Academy update. So obviously we've seen some growth in some of our players. I actually see Thiago Cairo, the Portuguese, looks like a left midfielder, left winger, will be coming into the team next season. We'll sign him to a contract, but you can see he's hit his May 1st update. He looks fantastic, so I think we'll definitely I honestly want to sign him to a contract and just get him in the team. But we come into a game here against Burnley, who are trying to fight their way out of the relegation places. We currently sit in 5th, 3 points behind 4th place Manchester City, who of course dominated us in the last episode. We also sit just ahead of Stoke City, who continue their fine form, but we do see teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle and the like creeping up on us, and we've had some tough runs of form lately. So obviously Burnley look to provide a strong challenge here, trying to come in Upton Park and nick some points that'll hopefully keep them alive in the Premier League at least for another season. But that said, we obviously want to take as much of an advantage we can as against a lower table side and potentially nick 3 points that give us a chance of at least qualifying for the Europa League, regardless of what happens in the FA Cup, or even potentially sneak into a Champions League spot, but it doesn't look very likely with Tottenham, Everton, Manchester United, Manchester City creeping away from everyone. Tottenham pretty much having locked up the title already, which is really disappointing for us, to see Tottenham win. But that said, we're doing the best we can, and all we can focus on is what we can accomplish here. Valencia played through a wonderful ball from Alex Song in the 32nd minute. Comes forward, has a chance, and just skitters it completely wide of goal. Absolutely disgraceful shot from Enter Valencia. I'll tell you what, as he's played through. But we do get another chance here. Noble playing the ball forward to Mauro Zarate, who's actually gotten in the lineup here. Lays the ball off to Stuart Downing. The England man has a strike, and it smashes off the bar. It would have been an absolute thunderbolt of a goal. Disappointing that he's unable to get it behind the goalkeeper. They actually don't have Heaton playing, who's been their number 1 for most of the season. They have Sisak in goal, their number 2. But Noble here in the 48th minute with a 0-0 score after going in at halftime. He fights his way through after making a lovely run. His cross to the middle, actually looking for Zarate, is blocked. It finds its way back onto his feet, and he smashes it in the back of the net. What a goal it was from Mark Noble as he tried to play it through into Carlo Zarate. There it was in the middle. Cross is blocked, it falls right back to him, and he just toe pokes it through. A little side foot action past the unsuspecting goalkeeper, who doesn't come out to claim it. Not really sure what he's waiting for, but Noble puts it in the back of the net to give us a 1-0 lead. And Valencia then using his pace to smash around Ben Mee. He comes forward, lays it in, looking for Carroll. It's cleared away only as far as Downing, and how about that for a finish from Stuart Downing on the half volley? Turns, smashes it past the goalkeeper to give us a 2-0 advantage. And Burnley now are on the back foot. Sisak, nothing to do there. For as much as he might have been at fault for that Noble goal, this is just an unstoppable smash by Stuart Downing. Hits on a volley, takes a little bit of a weird bounce, or a half volley I should say, takes a little bit of a weird skitter through the legs of a defender and just hops over the top of Sisak's leg and into the back of the net. So Downing continuing his torrid form this season, his 8th goal in the Premier League this year, arguably been our MVP. And a huge goal to give us potentially the 3 points, so it is a little bit early for that. Zarate then using a little bit of skill, a little bit of trickery to get around his man, plays it in Andy Carroll, and Sisak actually does well to make a save on the big man Andy Carroll's header and keep things as they stand. Kitely then coming forward, plays it out wide to Mee on the overlap. He gets plenty of space on the wing, floats it in towards Jukowicz. It's played away by Adrian, but only as far as the Burnley striker Sam Vokes puts it in the back of the net. I think it was Vokes, we didn't get the name there, but it's played across. Adrian does well with a punch, but he doesn't get it far enough away, and he's actually clattered over by a couple of defenders as well as the Burnley forward. Nobody's able to come back, and it's a simple finish into the back of the net for the Burnley striker. It's actually Dean Marney, excuse me. I was mistaken on the goal scorer, but into the back of the net. Jukowicz then comes forward with another chance that luckily for us he puts inches wide as he has Adrian stranded. He wasn't sure whether to come or go, and we do escape at 2-1 still, but Tompkins, who's actually pushed up into midfield with Collins coming on late in the game, plays a beautiful through ball for Andy Carroll, who's kind of a lone target man up top right now. He does really well And Sir Andrew, Lord of Carroll, as I love to say, puts one in the back of the net, surely wins us the 3 points at this moment in time in the 87th minute. He takes one touch, able to use a fake shot to just make some space for himself, and then on his weaker right foot is able to smash into the side netting past Cisak. It's a great finish from Carroll, who's been in really good form of late. I'll tell you what, he's got a little bit more playing time because he's doing really well. Guys like Valencia, Zarate, Sacco, they're so hit and miss, but Carroll, at least, though he hasn't always had the goals, he's been fairly consistent in his play, and I've been really happy with that, so that's why he has been getting in the lineup. But we do try and get one more goal. Carroll then 2 minutes after scoring, played in by Aaron Cresswell's cross. His header clatters off the underside of the bar, and we are unable to add a fourth goal. But that would be all she wrote. A huge 3 points to stop our skid, as we had only picked up 2 points, 2 draws from our previous 4 Premier League matches, losing to Stoke and Manchester City, drawing with Arsenal and QPR. So a huge 3-1 victory, well deserved over Burnley. We dominated possession. Couple more shots and shots on target, but we dominated them all across the pitch. Aaron Cresswell with a man-of-the-match performance, an 8.9. What a game he had. Noble an 8.4. Tompkins as well an 8.6. So really good play from our midfielders and defenders. We also get a couple notes here then after the game. We have some younger players returning from their loans. We also see that Cresswell, who picked up a yellow card, would be suspended for the next match, which would lead me to go with a bit of an experimental lineup here. Tompkins also says, can we look at his contract, potentially sort him out? I say, we'll deal with that at the end of the season, James. We only have 4 games left to go now. We come into a game with Aston Villa at Villa Park. Aston Villa currently sitting just 4 points clear of the relegation zone with 3 games to go. So this is arguably a must-win for them, or at least a must-pick up a point. We still sit in 5th, 3 behind City, and 3 ahead of Stoke City. So any points picked up here will pretty much almost guarantee us 5th place. Obviously not this game, but any points further on will get us a stranglehold on 5th place and steal pretty much a Europa League spot for us, which would mean we would be playing European football next year, which would be absolutely fantastic. But like I said, there are some teams charging of late towards the end of the game. But we come out trying that 3-5-2 lineup, similar to we played against Arsenal in that 1-1 draw. Tompkins, Reed, and Collins at the back, Song and Noble and holding midfield. Rodriguez getting to start at right mid. Jarvis and Downing coming in, as well as with Andy Carroll partnering Ener Valencia up top, trying to use his pace alongside the strength of Andy Carroll. We started off brightly here. Alexander Song playing the ball to Rodriguez. Nice little bit of trickery to skip around his man on the wing. Floats it in towards the head of Ener Valencia. It falls as far as Matthew Jarvis, who's crept forward from his left midfield position, but Brad Guzan sticks out a leg and makes a fantastic save. Aston Villa, though, we're happy to play on the counter-attack. Fabian Delph lays the ball off to Andreas Weimann. Has a strike, and it's inches wide for the Villa forward, who nearly picked up the opener but unable to put it on target. We then try to counter moments later. Valencia coming forward, played through by Downing. Turns, has a strike from very wide angle. Guzan for some reason decides to have a touch of it and put it back in play. He then makes up for his sort of mistake, you would say, by stopping Rodriguez's smash down to his near post, making a really good save to keep things scoreless in the early going. Rodriguez and linking up well. This is a beautiful sequence of passing. Rodriguez to Song, into Noble, into Downing, back to Rodriguez, forward, and the header from Valencia is just over top of the bar. From Sacco, excuse me, because you don't actually see this in the game, but in the 13th minute, Andy Carroll picked up a knock and actually had to be substituted off, and that's a huge loss for us. Obviously, this gives us one less striker option with the FA Cup final in just 1 week's time. One less player to pick from if he's going to be unable to be fit for that game. But disappointing there. Adrian was also forced into a couple of really big saves to keep things scoreless. He had one save in the 38th minute that was just unbelievable. Smash from about 12 yards out, and he was able to just tip it behind the bar. But Jarvis, I'll tell you what, we used our wings playing that formation that actually had wingers for once. We used them really well. Jarvis and Rodriguez. Rodriguez had a fantastic game. I'll tell you what, he played fantastic. It was really a threat all over the field. He got back on defense. You can see him getting in the box there to help out. Adrian with a nice double save. But Rodriguez getting in to help out defensively and also doing a lot of work on the attack with his pace and trickery from the wing. But Zarate comes on as a substitute for Jarvis just moments after that Adrian double save, and he makes an immediate impact. He's plays a 1-2 with Ener Valencia, uses a nice ball roll, and then a body feint and a ball roll to get around his defender, creates plenty of space for himself, then uses a little bit of skill to turn inside defender, has a strike, and Brad Guzan just gets down to his near post with a strong hand to claw the ball away from his net, as Zarate trying to create more havoc. Beautiful little double step over, and then a little flick of the ball to get past the defender who's charged in. Plays it into Sacco, and the finish left so much to be desired. Zarate's play deserved better. He does really well again with a little bit of trickery to skip Riseman, and plays it into Valencia, who actually picked up a knock as well in this game. Falls kindly to the feet of Alexander Song, but he smashes just past Guzan's near post again. We move forward to the 90th minute here. Valencia countering. We played so much. I played the counter-attacking style here, and it actually worked really well to create chances with the pace of guys like Zarate, Sacco, Rodriguez, Jarvis, Downing, Valencia, but we're just unable to score. Rodriguez doesn't put on goal, and this was our best chance here. Enter Valencia, played through by Rodriguez, and Guzan comes out and makes the save. The American keeper playing the role of hero for Aston Villa, trying to single-handedly keep them afloat with a draw here that would be oh so crucial. They nearly claw their way back with a ball that goes only as far as Fabian Duff. Plays into Tom cleverly. The Manchester United loanee smashes the ball off the bar behind Adrian, but unable to put it in the back of the net. Then Zarate lays the ball off to Alexander Song, out wide to Rodriguez coming forward from his right midfield position, but Guzan, a brick wall in that, and we're unable to beat him. That would be all she wrote. A tough draw to take, but we will take any point we can get, especially with a bit of a makeshift formation going on. It was a really good effort, and you have to say it's a point taken because we are away at a team that's very desperate to stay up, and we did play the better of the football. We arguably deserved the victory, but a point is a point, and we'll take it at this point in the season. So we do have just 3 games left, guys. Obviously, the FA Cup will be the entirety of the next episode. Then in the last episode, we'll deal with the final 2 Premier League games and then move into a wrap-up of the season and things of that nature. I have a little bit planned for the end of that. So it'd be huge. Obviously, Carroll will actually miss the FA Cup, so that's a huge loss for us, and that will be a great game next episode. So we hope to see you then. Hope you have enjoyed this one. Bye-bye.